There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Now the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and trunk, and the only time he's satisfied is when he's all a drunk. Oh, mother, tell your children. Oh, mother, tell your children while I got one foot on the platform. Oh. Well, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Fucking hell, that's gone wrong. Not to do what I have done. Spend all your time in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. Well, I got one foot on the platform, the other foot on the town, on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. Well, there is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. I must have forgotten to write something. Feel like a president out reading out my stuff. There is a house in New Orleans. Well, actually, there are no houses in New Orleans. They've all been blown away, haven't they? There is a house in New Orleans. New Orleans. They call the Rising Sun. Fuck hell, even that. New Orleans. Like, you've got a place in France, haven't they, called Orleans. Orleans. And they had to fucking get another one, didn't they? They had to go and stake out a bit of land in America, steal it off the Indians, and then name it after another, like the British and the Germans and the Dutch and Spanish, all of them, they all been sticking their own town names on everything, you know, oh, this is ours, we'll have that. Bastards. There is a house in New Orleans, so this is like the colonial imperialism version of there is a house in New Orleans. They call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Now the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and trunk. And the only time he's satisfied is when he's all drunk. Oh, mother, tell your children to write bloody lyrics down properly. Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. Well, I mean, look at the words. It's meant. This song's crazy. Look, so you're spending his life in sin and misery in this. It's a whorehouse, isn't it? It's a brothel in America, in New Orleans, going to see the prostitutes. Well, you don't get a ball and chain on your leg, do you? Like at the end, it says he's on the platform. Oh, well, I got one foot on the platform, the other foot on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. He's going back to New Orleans and he's going to go give himself up. But for what? You don't say he murdered somebody to get a ball and chain round his ankle. That he assaulted somebody or did a robbery or something. It's just a stupid fucking song, isn't it? There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and they all sing it, don't they? They all sing shit like this. Learn it on the guitar, but when you actually read it and think about what's being said, it's crap, isn't it? But they call the Rising Sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. So you got to figure out what the house of the rising sun is. And what is it? It don't tell you, does it, in the song? The house of the rising sun. So let's just say that's what I think it is. Anyway, it's supposed to be a brothel, isn't it? You know, house of the rising sun is like. Stay there at night, don't they, and get behind the curtains there with the prostitute, and then pull the curtains open in the morning. That's if they stay all night and charge them a fortune. Because they won't, would they? They'd just go in for half an hour or something and then go, bugger off. But the thing is, I suppose to go there in these, and then it's like, what do you associate with this, you know? Like, then you have gambling. You think these American westerns, you know, they've got like a gambling facility. They go gambling, don't they, in any kind of bar. In these cowboy pioneer of the West things. They're always going into saloons and they just sell whiskey. Then they have a bit of gambling and then they get the guns out, don't they, and try and kill each other. And the sheriff has to come along. And townsfolk are all cowards. I mean, it's just fucking shit, isn't it? Let's be honest about it. A lot of it. It's crap. Hollywood crap it is. And of course they were selling it, weren't they? You know, like getting people into cinemas and charging them, you know, $10 to come and watch this. Hey, it's good, it's escapism. In fact, those cowboy films are great, weren't they? They were they're always very sunny, you know, always very bright. And when they got Technicolor, I used to like to go out and shoot. When I say shoot, I mean, you know, make films like out in the sunshine. It was beautiful, wasn't it? Like they'd be riding around on horseback through the desert and stuff. But they never seemed to have much water, did they? You know, for somebody travelling right through the desert. All they had was a horse, you know, where they're going to carry a supply of water. It always seemed like it was miles to the next town, or the next cantina, and there'd be like some Mexicans there, wouldn't there? All asleep. Siesta time, because it was red hot. 4 o'clock, you know, the afternoon. Say from 11 o'clock, see what I mean? The beauty of making videos and talking into a microphone. It's like the old days of the BBC, you know, making a film. Instead of, I mean, a radio transmission, you know, instead of having a video which shows you everything, this kind of appeals more to the imagination, you know, so you'll be listening to it, won't you, all sitting around the computer thinking, wow, what's he doing now, you know, what's he going to do? Is he going to do like a cowboy sketch? And I'll get a horse in the room here and make the horse like make noises and go clippity clop. I'll get some of those cowboy hoofs, you know, those like they used to do in the early radio stuff. Then you got to get the sound of a car, so I'd have to go and record a car squealing going around the corner, like put it into a tape recorder and play it back while I'm speaking, you know. I could have like the sound of paradise, of jungle around me, you know, with birds going, and like loads of those Hawaiian female dancers behind me, you know, with those things they have around the neck, like flowers, isn't it? When they used to welcome visitors, didn't they, with put flowers around the necks, you know. Wahula Beach or whatever it is, hula hula. Well, what I was going to do was, I was actually going to play House of the Rising Sun, but I don't seem to have a guitar here. Well, what I do it on mouth organ in the key of C, like this. Like this. There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun. And it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. And it's been the... I've done that now. So you see, with a mouth organ, you can't play all the notes in the key of C. It's like a piano. You just got to know where to suck and blow properly. Right then, so you've had the lyrics, and now you had a bit of a story as well about cowboys. And I suppose you need to play a bit more of this, don't you? Well, I got one foot on the platform. In the house of the rising sun. Wasn't exactly right, but you know, everything with me is a rehearsal. You know, when I'm out there with Bruce Springsteen. The house of the rising sun. Now what I'm doing is I'm playing a harmonic in the key of C. That's the best one, because it will cover everything on the guitar, like A minor, C, D, F, A minor to the E, which is House of the Rising Sun. They're the chords. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. Mind you, there isn't a house in New Orleans, I keep saying, don't I? It's kind of a comical quip, you know. It's not meant to be funny, but it's kind of, you know. Poor people in New Orleans, you know. A huge hurricane came, didn't it, and it knocked all the houses down. And why is that? I'll tell you why. Because it's the same in Japan. The ancients of Japan, the ancient peoples of northern Japan, never lived in northern Japan. I mean, they didn't go there till about the 14th century. Because they used to live in Manchuria. When they got to Japan, when they moved north, right, to the northern part of the island, they will have experienced earthquakes and stuff, and everything gets destroyed. So, as people, they would go back, and it would be in their culture to pass that information on to people through stories. So like this is a story, isn't it, about New Orleans. Now thing is, traditional cultures, old cultures, they would tell you not to move any further north because up there's all earthquakes, so people wouldn't move. But of course people do. They go live in an earthquake zone, and it's like that, like Florida, New Orleans, all down there. It's kind of like too dangerous to live there, yet they do. And that's because they were colonisers with slaves, weren't they? Got the slaves over there. Most dangerous place on earth, like Jamaica, Barbados, Cuba. All those areas are in a huge earthquake zone. Earthquakes and hurricanes. So nobody'd really live there because life would be too dangerous. And perhaps people didn't even actually live there. There were some old Indian tribes, weren't there, in the Amazon basin and kind of Suriname way, Guyana. The Indians lived there, but they didn't sort of, I don't know how far they travelled actually, but that's kind of like part of the history of mankind, you know. Fuck, I went wrong way around again. Well, I first met my eyes on sweet Molly Malone. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty. Yeah, I can't do that bit. And now one of the problems is because when you get a harmonica, it's got proper notes, and you can play melodies of songs, but you have to learn them. What's happened though is because you've got all these blues players, what they do, they play a tune and then they go like this, don't they? Go, which is great because it's like all bent notes, like. And it always sort of typifies the sound of a train, doesn't it? That's the hobos, like looking for a train. Just waiting around on a railway station at night. Now that's the blues, isn't it? Real blues, you know. Of course, then I've got to go from C to F, and I've got to get to the G somewhere. Now, that's just like Bruce Springsteen, isn't it? You know, that's what he does. He likes his harmonica, does Bruce. So do I. See? Oh, little Lord Jesus asleep on his bed. La 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 la. Asleep on the hay, stars in the bright sky, look down where he lay, stars in the bright skies. I can't really make the sound of stars, or I would, you know. Imagine if you could hear them going through space, going. Ah, you'd shit yourself, wouldn't you? Yeah, so there I was, best intentions. I was going to do House of the Rising Sun, and I seem to have got distracted away from it, you know. So I could still knock it out, but I'm a bit tired, so I think I'll leave it for the next video. So this one will be just I don't know what I call this. Well, it's the lyrics, isn't it, you know. So there is a house. Thing is, you've got to try and sing it note perfect when you're like very precise. You've got to try and do the song perfectly. So it's like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a house in New Orleans they call the right. rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and Lord, I know I'm one. Now that's how you practice, you see, you got to practice and think about shortening it, you know, keeping the notes precise, not holding them on for too long. And the thing is, you have to play single notes, not play 2 or 3, because that's like playing a chord, right? That's a chord. You don't want to be doing that. You got to go. Sorry. I didn't think I was going to become a virtuoso mouth organ player in the key of C, but C is a very good key because it's the white keys on the piano. So if you just play on the white keys, you can play sort of, well, not any song, but yeah, you could just about play any song, because they're all going in scales, in D or in E or D flat or C sharp, and they all relate back to kind of just 12 notes or 13 notes in a scale, 12 notes, 11 notes, you know, in an octave. So it's not a bad thing to play a mouth organ because you can pick up tunes. And the difficulty is to play notes, like not even a melody really, but just play notes, not play chords. So really when people say, oh, a chord has to have 3 notes, it's not true. A chord can be 2 notes. I remember a friend of mine saying, oh, a chord has to have 3 notes. Fuck off. Wrong. A chord is 2 notes. Shows. It just goes to show people they know shit. That's 1 note. That's a chord. Chord's no good, you see. That's weird doing that scale, because I had to kind of coming down I had to kind of blow on the top and suck in twice to get like 2 notes. So there you go, bit of a mouth organ lesson for me, not for you, just for me because I'm just practicing, aren't I? Well, I'm going to wrap it up. That's about 30 minutes. That's going to be a big file. It'll take forever to to upload. So that's it for now. House of the Rising Sun with a big story. Beautiful.